Now, welcome to today's feature, where, of course, we show you technologies that are being deployed by farmers across the country. And right now, we are in Realite Base Camp Farm. And as I was walking through the farm, I have seen a lot of healthy animals. And for these animals to be this healthy, it means there is a vet somewhere who's doing an absolutely good job. And that is the person that we will be speaking to. And rumor has it, she's a young girl. Come, let us confirm together. Please start by telling us your name and what you do.
My name is Umuhimu. I'm a vet technician at Realite Base Camp, and so happy to have you here.
Now, for you to be a vet technician at such a young age, please tell us very quickly what inspired you.
Mostly, I would say passion. I really love animals, and to be honest, I only wanted my life to revolve around animals.
Now, today we want to talk about the practices that we need to adhere to when it comes to sheep farming in Kenya. Zile ambazo kila mkulima anafaa kufuata if they want their sheep to be healthy and also productive. Please take us through what these stages are.
The first and the foremost thing is that you need to control diseases. So the best way to do that is by vaccinating your animals. That's the most important thing in your farm. The second thing, if you're a serious farmer, you need to identify your animals so that you can keep proper records. So you identify your animals by, the best is tagging, ear tagging. There are other methods, but here we use ear tagging. Another thing you need to do is you need to keep your animals clean. You can do that by shearing the wool if it overgrows. Another important thing would be tail docking. It is very important, tail docking.
Why should I do tail docking? At what point do I need to do it? Na pia nikifanya hiyo tail docking, what am I using as a farmer?
What you use first, there are two tools that go hand in hand. One is an illustrator, the other one is a rubber ring. That is the most maybe humane way to cut the tail of a sheep because it's painless, it's bloodless, and also you would avoid a lot of infection when you use that. The importance of tail docking, one is for the hygiene purposes. When the tail is too long, it might harbor some dirt which may cause an infection. There are flies that like hiding under the tail, and they may lay eggs and cause an infection. It is also important because the tail accumulates fats, especially if you're keeping the animals for meat. The fat will be evenly distributed in the body. Yes.
And I should do it to my sheep when it's at what age?
As early as possible, not past 10 days.
And does that apply, the timing apply also for ear tagging?
Ear tagging, you can do it immediately so that you don't mix up the lambs. Because if you, let's say you do seasonal breeding, you have a lot of lambs and you are rearing them together. If you don't do it immediately, you might get confused. Who is the mother to who? Who is the child to who?
As a farmer, I'm a bit confused. Should I let my dopa shed its own skin, or should I go ahead and initiate the process? What do you advise as a vet?
It depends with your location. In locations where it's a bit very hot, you don't have to wait for too long for it to shed on its own. But if you are in a cold area, it's very natural. You can't prevent it, so you just let it shed on its own.
As a farmer, do I always need to have a vet come through and help me with the tagging and also the cutting of the tail, or it's okay if I do it for myself?
It is very important that a vet guides you on how to do it. You might not know the procedures. Your vet guides you on how to do it. You might not know the procedures. You might know that you want to cut the tail, but you don't know maybe the tools to use, how to do it, how close to the body or how far to the body it should be. And also you have to have a vet who will educate you on how to avoid infections during these processes.
And how will my sheep behave after I have already now put that rubber, because we are trying to remove the tail? What are the behaviors I'm going to see in my sheep, and for how long until I see the tail finally out?
2 hours. It will be a bit uncomfortable. it will stop suckling for some time, but it shouldn't go beyond. The next day it should be fine. But we advocate you do it earlier, maybe 3 days after birth, so that you don't stress. It's easier to heal, and the tail is not too big, so it will drop off very fast. You will not stress the lambs too much.
In the process of tail docking, na nione kama mkulima, hiyo rubbering, kidogo nilikuwa naenda kuiweka the right area, but nikitoa imeanguka kwa the wrong spot, imeteremka chini kidogo ama imeenda juu sana. What is supposed to be my next immediate step?
First, you need to know how far you are supposed to place the rubbering. I would say 2 inches from the body. So if it doesn't fall 2 inches from the body, you can like cut it and do it again. Yes, because usiache tu hapo, because it's a permanent process and it can disrupt all the other processes like mating.
And what are the very key vaccinations that as a sheep farmer I should make sure I don't miss out on?
It is very important way of controlling diseases in your farm. The key diseases depends on the area that you are in. There are some areas that are prone to some diseases and other areas are not prone to. You need to sit down with your vet and ask which diseases are prone in this area so that you can vaccinate. Because if you vaccinate all of them, it will be very uneconomical. So you vaccinate only those that are prone to that area, especially if you are doing feed loss system is like the one we are doing here. You need to vaccinate against enterotoxemia. It is a very serious disease and it can sweep your flock in a minute. I'll start with lambs. When they're very young, they are prone to coccidiosis. They are prone to salmonellosis. You have to watch out for that. You know, their immune system is not well developed. It occurs in even adult sheep, but for the lambs, it is very rampant. Another disease is foot and mouth, especially for areas that are always, the ground is very wet, where they're going to graze. And also pasteurellosis.
Are all these processes allowed to be done on a pregnant sheep? Ama kuna conditions ambazo you're not allowed to do certain processes?
In fact, we advocate for vaccination, especially I'll touch on enterotoxemia. You need to vaccinate your ewes against it when they are in their gestation period so that you can protect the mother and you protect the lamb. So deworming, vaccination during pregnancy, it's advocated for.
Thank you so very much for talking to us and also inspiring young girls from across the country, wherever it is that they're watching us from, to get into the space of agriculture. You as a vet.
Yes.
Iko na pesa?
Even
that smile is proof enough that there is money. We show you young superstars like Wamboi who are taking up space in agriculture, and she is a vet doing absolutely great, and she's made it very clear that yes, kuna pesa. Unangoja nini?